don't get caught up in it. This is not your home. And a lot of people get cozy on this planet and they think that this is it. Well, okay. I'm trying to say about forgiveness, right? About forgiveness. You know, the thing with me is, like, you know, it's not even all about, you know, hold on. It's about, it's definitely not about God using a hitman. I mean, at all. I mean, I pray for I'm gonna sit here and talk about what I pray for. It's nobody's business. Well, let's just say I pray for my enemies. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what I pray about, because that's not what I'm supposed to do, and then that's not what I want to do. It's not your business. I don't even know you. Like, it's, you know, God doesn't want me to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm a very close person. Like, I come on here and I do videos and I talk about things because maybe, you know, maybe I want to get something off my chest. At the same time, maybe I can help somebody through what they're going through, you know. Or like in the Mother's Day situation, it's kind of a mixture of the two, you know, because I did some Mother's Day videos for you mothers out there. You know, I don't mean mothers like normal mothers. I'm talking about mothers in my position, you know. You know, as far as like forgiveness goes and stuff like that, you know, like, I really have no reason to just, you know, I mean, if somebody's like bad mouthing me or something, I'm not gonna sit there and escalate the situation, but I will sit there and be like, oh, you like, don't talk. Like, I'm not a punk, man. Really, I never was, you know. But there's, you know, you could, like, a lot of people think, well, you know, if you're just gonna turn everything over to God, well, people are just gonna sit there and take shots at you, and you're just gonna sit there and walk away from everybody your whole life. Absolutely not. You know, I never said I didn't fight it. If I have to fight, trust me, man, I'm down for fighting somebody if I have to, but that's only when I have to. I'm not a caveman. I don't sit there and fight when I don't have to fight. You know, like, if somebody's sitting there, if I have to defend myself, that's a different story, you know. And I would expect that from anyone. I mean, when somebody's gonna walk up to you and back you into a corner, what are you gonna do? Maybe some people will lay down. Not me, man. Not me. Not at all. I don't care if it's one person, two people, 5 people. If I'm cornered, then I'm cornered. But you know what? I'm not gonna sit there and let somebody corner me either. I'm not like that. Trust me. Believe it. So that's not at all what I'm talking about. Just give it over to God. What I'm saying is that God understands everything. He sees everything. And especially if you're in Christ, well, you know, God sees everything regardless. But see, I'm his child, so, you know, I don't really have to worry about you. You, obviously, I mean, you know, people that, I don't know, people, I mean, to live is to have people be idiots. I mean, I'm not even really sweating any situation at all. I mean, some things I don't understand, you know, kind of like the parental alienation situation where, you know, things about my kid, like, I don't know. But I don't know anything really about my kid's background. I don't know. You know, I don't really understand why somebody would just, you know, not acknowledge a loving parent. Well, what do you want me to do? Really? I'm not ice cold about it, though. Not at all. You know, I love her, door's open. What do you want me to do? I drop her a video, I say hi, tell her I love her, because I do. I'm not gonna sit there and hate on the girl. I mean, she wants to sit there and ignore me and ignore me and do that to me. It doesn't mean I have to do it to her. And it's, you know, it's just, she's my kid. I mean, I love her regardless. I'll be there for her regardless, man. You know. So, you know, it is what it is. That, you know, but that's my situation. But you know, like, as far as, like, you know, forgiveness goes and stuff like that, I mean, it is what it is. I don't have to sit there and I'm not, you know, I don't have to sit there and you know, be like everyone else. And it's easy to fall into a trap like that. You know, nobody's saying that forgiveness is definitely easy. Definitely not easy. But you know, with God's help, it frees your mind, especially when you know when you die where you're going. That's freedom right there. Because once you come to terms with the fact, like, hey, look, you know, I'm going to heaven regardless. I mean, at that point, you're just free. You know, you don't really care about the thought process of other people. And that, you know, what I mean by that is, you know, people are gonna mistreat you in this life, you know, but that goes back to that's what I'm saying in this video. You don't care about none of that because God sees it and there will be repercussions, you know. Kind of like what I was saying before in my other video. I don't even know if I don't even think I uploaded these videos, man. I just, you know, definitely will upload this video, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's not about vengeance. It's not about sitting there using God as some person to just, you know, go do my work or nothing. Not at all. It's just about letting God do his own work, because at the end of the day, God says vengeance is mine. So it's not like saying, okay, God, this person hurt me, so now go do my dirty work. Not at all. God says vengeance is mine. So that means vengeance, it means that it's his work to begin with. You know, because when somebody sins, regardless of, you know, if they're a child of God or not, it's a offense against God. So that's what a lot of people don't realize. So that's why God says vengeance is mine, because you think you're hurting your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your best friend or your teacher or, I don't know, your dog or your cat, who knows, I don't know. You think you're hurting someone when in reality a sin is involved, more than likely, and at least somewhere in there a sin is involved. And you know, that's God's business. So that's why it says God, just turn it over to him. You know, and forgiveness, in my opinion, is not a feeling. It's just releasing the other person of any obligation to owe you anything. You know, like in my situations, I'm not looking for people to apologize. First of all, it'll never happen. Second of all, I mean, somebody hurts you, you can't just expect people to, you know, bust your door down and say, I'm sorry. That's just not the way of the world, you know? And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, unfortunately. They just think that, you know, I'm not going to forgive this person unless they apologize to me. Well, at that point, you'll be waiting forever. You really, really will. So it's just like, and then in the meantime, you just get kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, angry and spiteful, and you know, you just, because I mean, you know, when somebody does you wrong, especially in an unjust sort of way, and you know that you don't deserve it, well, you think that, you know, you have a right to hold on to that, you know, because it feels good. It feels like you're you know, it's kind of like when somebody does you wrong, you feel kind of powerless, you know, because like, what can you do? The person did you wrong. They got, you know, it seems like they got away with it when they really didn't. Trust me, it's so easy to, you know, really had that mind frame when something really goes down, and then years go by and the person just seems to like get away with it. It's just like, dude, like, doesn't anybody catch on to this? Like, how slow can people get in their life? Like, dude, like, we're just talking about connecting the dots. I don't know. So you just kind of like fall into that mind frame, but you know, you just have to understand that, you know, God does see everything, and you know, things fall into place. They take time, but they do. They fall into place. So I just don't want to see anybody, you know, I just want to let people know that, you know, you know, you don't have to walk around, you know, spiteful. Hang on. You don't have to walk around spiteful and you know, forgiveness doesn't mean reconciliation. It doesn't mean that you're letting the other person off either, because that's where I think a lot of people go wrong, and that's why people don't want to. That's as a matter of fact, I know people don't want to, they wait until that person calls them or knocks on the door or whatever, and 90% of these people aren't going to say they're sorry in your life. So you just have to make that decision, to get the ball rolling. And sooner the better, because the longer that sits in you, it takes root. It's kind of like a tree. A tree starts off as a little something or another, but then as years go by, it kind of takes root in the ground. So you gotta just and God will help you do that. Absolutely. I think what else I was gonna say. Yeah, I mean, I just don't want to see anybody, and like I said, forgiveness is a process. Don't get caught up in, well, I just can't forgive someone. I mean, it's a process. That's why God says in the Bible 70 times 7. It doesn't, and 7, the reason 7 is the number of completion. It's the number of, purity, the number of, light. That's why 7 is so prominent in the Bible. You do see it, especially when God is talking. Kind of like the 666 is the number of man. It's the number of the beast. It's not of God. But the number 7 is the number of completion. Like I said, seek God for yourself, man. No, I mean, I'm just some dude on the internet. But I mean, forgiveness is just, I don't know. It's just what needs to happen. Because it frees you, and a lot of people think, like I said, I'm just gonna wait around until the person apologizes to me, and then once that happens, well, that's not what forgiveness is. Forgiveness, I mean, sure, you can forgive that way, but to sit there and count on it, I mean, what happens if that person doesn't wake up the next day? You'll be waiting on a dead man or a dead woman. Anything could happen. What if that person just never comes to their senses, which happens every day? There's somebody in this neighborhood right now sitting down waiting for somebody to apologize to him, and 30 years have passed already. 30 years have passed already, and this person is 50-something years old, sitting in their living room now, angry, waiting on this person that might not even be alive. And maybe this person died, 6 months after they committed the offense. You never know. So it's not easy, but what other choice do you have, really? I never think that forgiveness is weak either. It's not. Forgiveness, unforgiveness is, it's baggage. It's chains and shackles and handcuffs, and it doesn't mean, unforgiveness is slavery. Put it that way. That's exactly what it is. Oh man, I'm trying to think what else. I was gonna say something, man, but I just forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, but I mean, when you have a relationship with God, and you know your destiny, this world around you just becomes not obsolete, but just not as important. You don't care about, trying to keep up with everybody else, because everybody else is out here, going broke, trying to keep up with everybody else, the cell phones and the clothes, and I gotta get this kind of car, and I gotta make this amount of money, and I gotta do this. There's nothing wrong with, being ambitious in life, but, this is not your home. That job that you go to every day, cool, good for you, but it's not the end-all be-all. Especially because you could lose that job tomorrow. You can walk into your office tomorrow and say, okay, you guys have, next Monday, it's gonna, that's it for you. Find another job. It happens every day. people have been working